Greetings, programs, and welcome back to a new build. We just completed the K2SO, and for those of you who follow along on the social medias, you'll know that I left K2 in the photo booth while had run off to work, and when I came back, his fingers were missing on both hands. Come to find out, one of the cats decided that my nice little light booth photo box thing was a good place for them to go in there and lay. And I guess somehow decided they're going to chew his fingers off or run off with them anyway. So I did the deal, tried to get a hold of Bondi. They said that they don't distribute in the United States, so I had no choice. I had no choice but to go and get another kit. It was on sale. It was on sale at Barnes& Noble, 25% off. So what I would have spent on maybe the part plus shipping is what I actually did spend on getting the replacement. Here's my justification. It's such a great kit. I was thinking, well, what if someone got a hold of one of those K2 droids and reprogrammed it just like they did, but turned him into a bounty hunter or an assassin droid. So that's going to give me an opportunity to go in and paint this thing up like, just, go away from what we see in the film. So that's going to be fun. And then I've got a bunch of extra guns and stuff from some of the other Bondi kits that I can use, so that should come out interesting. However, that's not what we're going to work on. We've worked on enough Bondi kits, so we're gonna pull the fingers out of here, get those attached, and then we're going to move on to our next project. So what is the next project? What are you going to work on? And sometimes that project is right under your nose, or more to the point, right on your bench. If you look back at some of the videos, this has been here the whole time. It's been here for about a year. And which kind of goes back to our opening. The opening, hello programs, has got to be only one thing. It's Tron. Not the new Tron, the old Tron. So what we were doing was, it was going to be the game grid. And I had gotten some, I think they're 1/72nd scale light cycles. And what I was going to do is, instead of just having them flat, on there racing across or having someone block off, I thought it would be really cool to have a 3D more of a 3D feel for the model kit. And I wanted to do the game grid, but more specifically, right after the hole is broken in the game grid and they go through the wall. So this was my solution. That right there is going to be my hole. So this is just foam. This is a very dense packing foam for packing radios. Car radios, don't ask. And so the reason I stopped when I stopped was I really wasn't sure how I was going to get in and cut these out, because those are some really tight, and I didn't want them to be jagged. I wanted them to be nice, clean, straight lines. And I've thought of a couple of different things. I thought of the hot knife. I've thought of just using a really sharp razor blade and going down, but this stuff is, look how thick that is, so I wanted to go be really precise. So what I decided to do was use my bandsaw and just little by little maybe cut some of the big stuff out, and I may still have to get in there with a sharp blade or something, or I may have to invest in a hot knife to get this sharp angle. But I wanted you, once this is out, for you to be able to see down into it. It'll be backed with a black, so you'll be able to see down in there, and maybe you might be able, well, I'll have one of the light cycles actually in there. Looking at something like that. So I've already got marked off because this was going to be my base. I've got my holes for where I was going to run my screws through. Then I had another idea. I've made a model kit before with using a grid pattern. I used the same kind of material, but it was a holodeck program with data and wharf. There's nothing really fancy about it. You know, you lay out your masking tape, you spray one, and you pull that up, and you spray the other, and you got grid lines. Not too challenging. What I think I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to make my base, and I'll lay my grid lines down, paint the surface black, and then when I pull up my tape, I'll have the grid lines, I'll make the top of it with clear plastic, spray it down, then I'll have my plexiglass with the clear where light can shine right through it. Then I'll use a frosted glass or something on the bottom of that, so the base will actually glow. The grid lines on the base will actually glow. So that's what we're going to do. And here's a good start, even though I started about a year ago. But that's what we're going to do. And we'll just take it from there. Went out into the garage, found some old plexiglass that I had for a shelf cover. There's my floor. So that's step one. After we cut this down. So I'm going to have to cut it down to a 12 by 14 and a quarter. And we'll get the grid lines put on it and get it painted black. That's one part. The other part, much like the Battlestar Galactica helmet that we did, we're going to use LED light strip. So I went out and picked that up, and woo, yay! Got the lights. So all we have to do now is, well, we're going to put this away for the moment. In its little box. Okay. So we got our floor, we got our light system. Have to figure out the grid lines. And to figure out the grid lines, what I'm going to do, this is the model that we're going to be using. And I've already measured, and wheel center to wheel center is 1.25 inches. And so I want my squares on my grid to be 1.25 inches all the way around through the whole grid. So we're going to start with that. We're going to get our plexi cut. We're going to get our plexi cut. We're going to lay out our grid lines and we're going to get it painted black. Well, programs, Adam Savage is famous for saying failure is always an option. My lighting system is a failure. So, I'm going to rethink that. I might have a solution, which requires me to run off to IKEA. That being the case, it's time for you to go and build something. So, until then, hey, and if you like what you see, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks. Pew 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 pew.